Hey, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Bastard Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, and I'm one half of the DungeonsSwag.com team. And we're just a couple guys in our basements trying to sell miniatures for a good price. And this is a custom miniature I'm making for a campaign that I run in my Tomorrow Comes Doom system. And this is called a Sailcat. And what a Sailcat is a reptilian reptilian creature that moves and is shaped and has the metabolism and behaviors of a cat, but the cold, feelingless demeanor of a lizard. And the creature is essentially an omega predator designed just to kill the cutest creature ever made. However, once these were released into the wild, after the dark nature god that created them was done with them, they started breeding, and they're just intelligent enough to keep their numbers low enough to where they won't be hunted. All right, so now we need to paint this thing. I have it spray painted and I painted it brown, so it's all like uniform to start out because I was like low on the brown that spray paint that I used. And now we're gonna get a dark green. Its legs are brown and remain brown, but its body is green, green, green. Its underbelly is brown, and the bottom half of its legs are brown. The rest of it is going to be this base coat of green. You want to kind of work around. The bottom of its head has to be green, so if it looks up in its camouflage state, then it doesn't give away what it is. So this thing's going to have an omega high natural stealth ability. So if you're thinking about like rolling an awareness or a spot or a search versus this thing, without the automatic critical success or the aid of magic, it's going to be almost imperceivable. So keep that in mind. This is like a super predator. And if it doesn't want to be seen, it'll be too late when it is. Pardon me, I get this hiccup burped or something. All right, now we're going to get like a mid-tone green, something that's a little more vibrant, but not overly vibrant. And we're going to get a little bit of that. We're going to get a soft brush, something like this. This is a makeup brush from Dollar Tree. This green might be a little too bright for what I want to accomplish, but it might not. We'll see in a moment. Oh no, this will work. It's not too bright. We just want to create a little bit of unique look and texture to it. And if you hit the legs a little bit, that's okay. It won't kill what we're doing here. Okay. Starting to look a little murderous. I'm going to get one more lighter green. And I'm probably not going to use a whole lot of this, but we'll see as we go here. This green's pretty vibrant. It might be too obnoxious. I'll let you know in a minute. Okay. We're just hitting some of those higher spots, some of those top spots. Okay. I think that's going to be what we want with that. Now let's get a lighter brown. For this I'm using Territorial Beige and a kind of a crappy brush. let's kind of drag it along and get a little texture on the legs. If you've got green on your legs, this is where you clean that up. You don't want to go over the top here. Okay, then I'm just going to kind of hit some of this terrain down here a little bit with that. There's almost no paint left on it, so it's not going to hurt much. It's just going to create something with a little bit of different tones. I'm getting my favorite color in the whole world. Pavement. Got a spider web here. Stupid spider webs. This is what happens when you use a lot of hot glue, though. You get a lot of spider webs. We're going to hit this with a +2 hot air gunner burning, and we're just going to dry it off again real quick. Okay. We're just going to get a teeny bit of this elephant gray, which is like a mid-tone to light gray. And use that paint we have existing on the brush to make it much lighter. And we're just going to drag that around on a little bit of that stone to change it up some. We'll just hit a couple little spots on the base to add some interest that we don't really need or care about. Now let's get a small brush, something really tiny. I'm going to get the this brush that Mrs. Doom bought me for my birthday, this Insane Detail. And no, it's not the only thing she bought me for my birthday, but it was definitely one of my favorite things. I'm going to get this desert yellow and do his eyes in that and then come back with a red. So you're probably wondering, how do I run a Sailcat? Well, first of all, the Sailcat is so stealthy that without, like I said, insane rolls, a lot of invested skill, or a magic item, you're probably not going to see one coming. That's just what's going to happen there. It's going to get you before you can realize. They move quick. They jump from 50 feet away and sail through the air by sticking their arms and legs straight out and using the sail on their back to aim the descent of their pounce. And whereas normal feline creatures pounce you from 10 to 30 feet away, these guys are like 50, maybe even 60 feet away, nailing you. They have a toxic bite that can paralyze. They have dark vision or night sight, depending on what system you use. They have scent up to 1 mile or 1/2 mile, depending on which you think would be a little more or less fair for your party. And their weakness is going to be hearing. Their venomous bite, the poison is a paralyzing poison that also reduces dexterity. Because their design is that when they get you, they bite you, and then they finish on a flame bay with you and come back to you. So each round after you're bitten with their paralyzing bite, the poison that was injected until you pass a save. You start losing dexterity. Once your dexterity hits 1/2 of its normal total score, or however you want to divvy that up, maybe you want to do it when it hits 0, whatever you want to do it. But I would say it would be weak to do it at 0. I would do it to where it's half their existing score. Or if they lose 6 points, or whatever you want to do, I would have it to where that's when they actually become paralyzed. So they lose dexterity until paralysis sets in. I would not use the standard rule set for paralysis. I would use a new system like the one I'm describing, so that your veteran know-it-alls don't think they have the solution and don't understand how it works. And the only way to remove the paralysis is not with a spell that remove paralysis, but it would be to magically enhance, even if it's just by 1 point or temporarily, your dexterity score or agility score or whatever system you're using. And that's going to get you back to moving normal again. And a lot of players aren't going to know that or understand that because they're used to, I did remove, paralysis. Well, that doesn't work. Make them think a little bit. Another nice thing about the Sailcat is while you're paralyzed, you can still breathe and you don't die. So they can keep you alive for their young or as a gift for their mate for an indeterminate amount of time, depending on when you starve to death or dehydrate to death. They're not going to feed you, but they're not necessarily going to kill you right away. And that, my friends, is the true horror of the semi-intelligent, maybe smarter than a dog, smarter than a cow, not as smart as a goblin. As far as tactics go with the Sailcat, they're generally solitary hunters because, say they have a family or a pride or whatever, they are so vicious and have no natural predators, say maybe certain types of dragons that aren't afraid of their bite, or other fey creatures, or not other, but fey creatures that have resilience to their kind of attacks, or, of course, the honey badger. If you were to encounter one of those in the wild, they have no natural predators, so they hunt alone. They fear nothing. So multiple of them will go out from their group to hunt. And then they will all just bring back something that they've got, hoping to bring back the biggest thing, not to be a show-off, but so they have more food to share with their group. And there you go. The first video we covered the lore where they came from, and this video we covered how they fight. They use paralyzing bite, a pounce that is extremely long. They fly by putting their arms and legs out, and the skin is loose enough that it creates a little bit of like a cushion to float along, and then they use the sail to, and aim themselves after they've leapt. And there's the Sailcat. Hey, if you like what I'm doing here, please hit like, subscribe, the notification bell icon if you see fit. Go ahead and share it with your Facebook groups, friends, family, spouse, whatever. Leave me some comments. I do love comments. That's very selfish, I know, but I do love them. And somebody had said they wish that I did more custom creatures. And since I do run my own game in my own world, I actually have a lot of custom creatures. Some of them are fleshed out, some of them are not. But the Sailcat is definitely an easy one to run. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Check out the website and buy some minis. Check out the Discord. Hang out with us there. Love to see what you've been crafting and working on. Have a good evening.